Chengdu, China, it is time for finals. It's been a wild year with the FISE, and everything comes to a head right now. Every single one of these athletes has been working for this moment right here. Chengdu, are you ready to party?
Welcome back live here from Chengdu. That's right, Ryan Meyer and Freddie White about to get the World Skate Roller Freestyle Park World Cup Finals underway here for the FISE World Series 2019 final round. That's right, we've had 3 jam-packed contests going on throughout the world this year, and it all comes down to tonight, where the boys are going to be rolling around the park as fast as they can, see what they can calculate to be the best tricks and the best runs on this incredible park sculpted by Hurricane Parks. They have done one out here, but let's take a look. We are live in Chengdu, China. That's central China, 14 million inhabitants living in this beautiful city, but we are just outside of that in an incredible park. Located out here, we have some dirt jumps for the bikes and the BMX off in front of us over here. Then to our left, we have this incredible skateboard course. You just watched the skateboard finals possibly on screen there. And then behind us, there's Sharon, the BMX athletes, as well as the roller athletes, all sharing one course. What do you feel about that?
I feel it's amazing. It's actually allowed the sport to evolve quite a bit. Like a few years back when we started competing on this big course with the BMX, people were kind of edgy about it, like, oh, isn't it too big? Isn't it gonna like hinder actually the development of the sport? And it's allowed people to go actually higher, go faster now. The sport has evolved, the hardware has evolved as well. So these guys have actually shown that this is the kind of course they can master and they can really dissect beautifully. We've seen some amazing stuff so far, and this is going to be amazing to watch today.
Well, you talk about all these athletes being able to tackle this course from around the world. We've taken some athletes through the globe, and we started things off in Hiroshima, Japan, with our first stop of the tour in April. We moved over to Montpellier, France, where we have been originating the FISE series and then bringing it to a global level to you guys. We've been here for 6 years strong in Chengdu, making this an annual stop of the end of the tour. This is the finale of the FISE World Series. When you hear China stop, you know it's all going to come to an end shortly. A lot of points gathering up here for all disciplines of action sports, but right now we want to talk about roller. Freddie, you just touched on how the course is actually big, and it's actually got a lot of the athletes to step up their game and kind of really progress, and they've really sunken into it. As we've been watching some of the athletes behind us tackle the course, it's an incredible feat that they've been able to share with the big wheels of the BMX bike, but actually not just make it look like it's daunting, but that they're in their element. They're really being creative on it, and this is a creative course to start with. Hurricane Parks, they're utilizing a new coping concept here. Maybe walk me through a couple of the highlights of that.
It's just like one-piece coping, so that's pretty amazing for inline skaters. I think it's not even a skate park at this point. It's just like an incredible stage for the best athletes in the world to perform at the highest level in front of the entire world.
Well, there you go. It's a platform, basically a playing ground and a stage for these incredible athletes and these incredible artists, let's say, to skate around the course. But 12 riders going to be going off at 2 heats. How does it work after that?
They will be divided in 2 heats indeed, 6 riders each. They have 2 runs of 50 seconds. Each rider goes 2 times, and only the best run counts, which means you have room for error, you have some margin for error, but only the very best run will count in the end, so you have to go all in and strive for the perfect run here in Chengdu.
You see the riders, the skaters on course right there, getting ready to warm up for the rider introduction. But right now, it's a freestyle discipline, of course, so you have the basic criteria: difficulty, amplitude, originality and style, control and execution, exploration of the park. What does that mean?
It just means you have to be really complete, I think, to like check all the boxes for the judges to really give you the highest score. Of course, the amplitude, the difficulty are really important, but here on this kind of course, I think the flow and the cleanness of your run is going to be one of the really important factors as well. You want to be able to show a really flawless run from start to finish and be able to fly over the course. The judges tasked with the hard job today to determine the winner are Mr. Blake Bird from London Capital Roller, Mr. Anthony Avila, Mr. Pascal Moras from Hurricane Park, the guy responsible for building this park actually, and next to him all the way to the right of your screen, Mr. Sven Bokkers, legend from the Netherlands. And it's gonna be great. Look at this beautiful park and look at us here on the top. What an incredible show. I'm quite excited to say the least, Ryan. So I hope you are ready for this.
I'm ready for it. We're here in Kinshree Park. It's just located a bit outside of the city center from Chengdu. So make sure if you guys are anywhere in the area, come down and check us out. But right now we're gonna go down to the park and introduce you guys to the top 12 riders out here for the World Skate Roller Final.
All right, we're here at the final stop in Chengdu, China. We are going to finish up our 2019 FISE World Series with our FISE World Series Championship. We are going to crown an overall champion at the end of the weekend. What we're going to do right now is we're going to get into rider introductions. I am AJ Stein, your Blade MC with the best job in rollerblading. So let's get right to it. Our first rider out of Bangkok, Thailand, riding for the Blade Store out of Malaysia, Jarasek Tesor. Our next rider out of France, riding for Razors and ALK, Nikolai Servi. Out of Gap, France, doing it for Powerslide and Scar Body Clothing, Yuma Butuen. Out of Roskilde, Denmark, the young homie, killing it for Powerslide and Skate Pro, Felix Falling. All right, our next rider out of Best Korea, South Korea, the young homie, 14 years old, Jae Jonghyun Yoon, doing it for them skates. Ow! Riding for USD and Powerslide out of Rotterdam, the Flying Dutchman, Jelle Brickeman. All right, your World Sports Games Budapest champion, looking to continue the winning streak, up right now out of Gap, France, Roman Abrat. All right, riding for USD, and this is Seoul. Coming up right now, the youngin, Yaro Frein. All right, doing it for Team Rollerblade, out of Switzerland, the homie, Maxim Jindo. All right, out of England, riding for Loco Skates and Sola Frames. Give it up for your 2018 FISE World Series champion. It's Joe Atkinson. All right, the most valuable Sydneyer ever, right here out of Bangkok. It's going to be CJ Wellsmore. And your first place qualifier, riding for Siva Skates, Diako Diaby. All right, we're gonna get started. We have our FISE 2019 World Championship coming to you right now out of Chengdu, China. Chengdu, Zhongchenzhen.
You guys have it right there. Those are your top 12 bladers coming out to push the final for the World Skate Roller Park Freestyle World Cup here in Chengdu. You see there the top 12 on the board, how it's going to be broken up right in the middle there. And then right between Jelle Brigman and Roman Abroad, those are splitting up the two heats. We'll take a break in between that to let the riders warm up, and then we're going to get back to the action. Some top favorites of yours rolling into the finals.
I'm definitely curious about that top 3 right there, top 5, actually top 12. All these riders have what it takes to step it up big time. So I'm really curious right now. It's really hard to say who's going to take it, but I'm really impatient to watch it all unfold in front of our very eyes.
It's really interesting to see how it works out here, but right now on top, it's going to be Joe Atkinson with 17,700 points. Close behind Roman Abroad in second. Yella
Jeremy Malik.
Malik in third place there, Yado Frein in fourth place, and Yuma Baudouin in fifth place right there. A lot of blue, white, and reds. A couple switched up flags from the Netherlands to the French side. Right now you see the crowd swarming in, and if you guys want to be part of the action, but we're not able to come join us out here, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That is at FISE World for our Instagram and our Twitter, and our Facebook is FISE.official. Make sure you hashtag your posts, FISE Chengdu, to stay involved with all the action for this stop. But as well, check us out on YouTube. Just type in FISE for FISE in the search bar. Follow us and subscribe, and you'll get all the incredible content as well. We have a lot of back scenes coverage, a lot of stuff happening that you don't necessarily get to see on the live stream or on your local network programming. Right now, heat number 1. Starting things off.
Jerasak Tassort from Thailand, Nicolas Sevi from France, Yuma Baudouin also from France, the young Felix Velling from Denmark, Yoon Jong-yoon from South Korea, and Jelle Briggeman, the Flying Dutchman, straight out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. That's going to be our first 6 riders. They'll go each 2 times, and their best run will count for their final score. This is about to get heavy right here on the course. One of the massive features we didn't get to talk about first is this 5.5 meters tall wall ride.
Yeah, it's definitely a wall ride. We're calling it a vert wall ride. We even have seen riders in the BMX category utilize it as a massive sub box. It's over 1.5 meters of vert. I've never seen that actually on a park course, but actually an amazing feature in between the spine hips. Below that is also a rainbow rail sub box coming out of the wall. Some incredibly creative maneuvers can be captivated over this.
And let's see how the man from Thailand utilizes this course. New word for me, and big 360 for Jom. Straight out of Bangkok. This man is 38 years young and ripped as very few are. He is one of the most incredible, one of the most physical athletes here on the course. An inspiration definitely for the youngest riders, such as myself, even. Coach Jom, that's how they call him in Bangkok. And no, he goes down on the switch. 450 here on the hip. Switch it is indeed. He spins the opposite way. And he misses the little Macchio here. Little smile on Jom's face. And that was our first run of the day. And it's only gonna get better from here.
Wow, some incredible stuff coming off. You see the replay up there on the screen of that flat spin.
Yeah, the alley-oop back 7 up here on the quarter pipe. Big 540 here, spinning a natural, and then later on he spun the other way. Alley-oop here, and then you can see he spins over the other shoulder and misses the landing a little bit. That didn't work out the way he wanted to, but he definitely has some good stuff in store. We saw him destroy his course in the training, and I really hope he puts it all together in a really nice 50-second run. He will have another chance to go, but now we're moving on to the next rider, young man from Dijon, France, Nicolas Servi, with this nice FISE apparel t-shirt, dropping it to the nice tunes of Dead Press, going big, flying straight into the vert wall, and boom, Misty 720 on the fly box. Alley-oop, porn star right here, and following up with a front flip right away. So many tricks, and I'm getting lost in transition right there. This guy is putting huge tricks everywhere. Big flat spin transfer. Incredible, so much power in those tiny legs. Nicolas is still going. He's got 20 more seconds and plenty more tricks.
It's a really incredible course actually here. Utilizes such large transitions, but in a very tight space. giving it kind of a bowl-like feel.
Most definitely, especially this part next to the vert wall, like this double spine bowl allows you to switch direction, allows you to use the park in so many different ways. It definitely allows each and every rider to add their own flair to their run. No one is forced to follow the same pattern. You can really create your own and showcase your own skills at their very best. That's what I love so much about this park. I really think the guys over at Hurricane Parks have outdone themselves. I've said it before, but since I got here, like, I can proudly say this is the best park we've ever had here on the FISE World Series. Everybody seems to be loving it, and like the skating we've seen so far, the riding we've seen on BMX as well, it's outstanding. This is one of the most incredible parks I've ever seen, period.
Quite the statement, but man, delivering with, you know, Hurricane Parks also just listening to the athletes time and time again. I mean, coming out here, delivering a park across the world. I mean, being a French company and then coming out here and delivering something different. They've been listening that the coping needs to be one piece, like a lot of the permanent skate parks that they built. So coming out here and being able to weld together each piece of the coping so that it's one solid bit is just such a testament to like showcasing that we want to see the riders deliver their best performance, not get caught up in between the different connections of the pipe. Yuma Baudouin dropping in though right now for his attempt.
Boom, big 900 spinning the opposite way on the fly box and going right back at it with the 5. 270 Royale here on the quarter pipe and then flying in reverse over to the rainbow rail. So many ways to use that park. You said it, the coping might just be one small detail, and yet it showcases the will of the riders and the builders. Because I said riders because all these guys skate. Actually, most of the builders here in China you will see competing tomorrow in the amateur contest. Pascal Moras, the designer, is actually a rider himself. The guys out there at in Montpellier are all BMX riders. You know, these guys love the sport, and that's also why they want to build the best structure available, because it's for them, it's for all the peers to ride and enjoy it.
You know, riders, true and down to, you're talking about some of the builders being competing in the amateur contest. Also here, you might be competing in the amateur contest tomorrow.
I will be, as a matter of fact, competing in the amateur contest tomorrow. I think I got a line. I got 50 seconds right there. Some DL-inspired moves, so yeah.
50 seconds. The amateur in line is going to be sharing the skateboard street course. So how do you like that one?
Well, I like it, but comparing to this one where you can switch directions, you can use the park in so many different ways, I guess the skateboard course is a lot more straightforward. It's a lot more banks, and it's a lot more one-directional kind of lines. And this one allows you to cruise around so much and draw so many patterns on the course. I guess it's two really different styles, but in terms of being used to skate big course, I guess I'm way more comfortable in the amateur park. So let's say I'm starting there and you'll see me next year on the big course, all right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'll be out there.
Training to do in backup.
We've said that you're going to get me backup blades. We'll talk about that one later, but right now Felix is dropping in.
And the massive drop-in from the 17-year-old kid.
Whoa, doesn't need a transition at all. Keeps things going.
So strong. Felix Felling, 17 years old. From Roskilde, Denmark. Oh no, he misses. He misses on the Savannah up there. Fortunately, doesn't fall all the way down, but it's so hard to get back in the jam when you miss that first trick right there. I think he will call it a run right here. Young Felix, one of the younger riders here on the course, and the proof that all the hard work for many years, all this work in building a newer generation is finally paying off. Felix is only 17. We have another rider that will come up in just a short second. Right after Felix, we have Jong-hyun all the way from South Korea, only 15 years old. It's so great to see these guys coming up on the scene and showing up big time. They have the tricks, they have the style, they have the amplitude to actually compete on these parks. And it's outstanding to see this new generation coming up. Really heartwarming. Felix goes in last so far. Unfortunately, a couple misses here on this first run. But he's got a lot in store. All these guys actually have a lot. Like the training sessions we got to witness in the last few days were absolutely incredible. I think that's what blew me away the most, actually, to see those guys having stepped up the level so high in the last few years. Getting used to those big parks and ripping them to shreds now. Jae-jong-yoon, 720, his first year here in Chengdu, and boom, following up with a big 9, keeping all the speed, half cab, X grind here on the quarter pipe, flat 3 on the big box right here, going with the Macchio, late grab here. Oh my God, he doesn't stop, only 15 years old, can you believe it?
Incredible.
Charging the course all over big flat 5.
That talent wheel just moving down the ladder, 15 years young.
And not stopping. This kid is absolutely killing it. Fakey 900 on transition. 3 more seconds to go. One last trick, flat 3 on transition. Incredible first run from the Jae-jong-yoon, all the way from South Korea. Incredible. And he came up to FISE this year in Montpellier for the very first time and placed 5th, if I'm correct. Absolutely incredible performance. No one was actually expecting him out there, and he definitely killed it. So now he's proving once again he's got everything it takes to actually make it to the podium, even make it to the first place. This was an incredible run. Look at this, going up on the sub box, just lining it up perfectly to go with the 450 here on the transfer, on the longer transfer. It's absolutely incredible to see this guy. I've said the word incredible about 10 times in the past 10 minutes, and yet I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. It seems that all the riders coming up are going to get better and better and better. The level is gonna keep on rising. First place and a really high score, 82.25 for Jae-jong-yoon. It's a really, really solid score, and as I said, he has what it takes to get on the podium. I think he just proved that once again. So now we moving on to the other side of the planet, the Netherlands, with the high-flying Dutchman, Mr. Jelle Bruggeman, dropping it all the way from the Red Bull tent up there and charging all the way to the vert wall, carving it and flying over for this huge transfer from quarter to quarter, easily 1.5 meters above coping. Incredible, charging back up all the way to the top of the vert wall and going big with this flat 3, keeping all the speed. So much power for the rider from Rotterdam, representing Power Slide. Whoa! Alley-oop point here is the first one we've seen. Actually lays that one, but he puts the hands down. Topsoil here in the side box. So many tricks. Incredible, and 5 more seconds to go. One last trick right here. Goes back the other way on transfer, and that's gonna be it. Whoa! Still goes in with the flat 3 on the hip right there. It was after the buzzer, so probably won't count any points for the judges. But what an incredible run it's been, Ryan. We're gonna take a look at the replay in a second. And you can see the amplitude. I said 1.5 meters, but that might be 2 even. He's learned from the very best. He's been skating Skateland in Rotterdam for a very long time. Shout out to the guys out there. Had some very, very nice sessions over the years in that skate park. And that's where this guy got all his tricks, and that's where he learned to fly high. They rebuilt a park to suit his kind of skating, actually, making it even bigger with bigger transition, bigger fly box. And he's picked up all the right tricks to show here at FISE, flying all over the course for 50 seconds. That was a really strong showing as well for his first run.
Yeah, great work coming out of the Netherlands right now. 2 athletes made it down into the finals.
Yeah, in the second heat, we'll see the young Jaro Frein, who also happens to be Jelle's teammate over at This Is. So a really nice job these guys are doing out there, building the scene and bringing the fresh new talent. Jaro is also one of these younger riders we mentioned before, this newer generation showing up big time on the big scene. And that's gonna be good enough for 3rd place so far for Jelle with 69 points. Definitely not a bad figure. And we are gonna go back to the top of the list. Second run for these guys. And first in line, Mr. Jerasak Tasson came out of Thailand all the way here. And he's starting off with the big transfer, the huge 360. He was eyeing this one for a while and it worked out good. Backside UFO here on the box, flying high, getting all the speed, 450 switch, and he lands it this time, no problem. No problem at all, but here he misses a little bit, still goes on the Maxio here on the A-frame, 450. Oh no, down he goes. Jom is all right. The Blade Club and the Blade Story president unfortunately missed again on this 450 here on the hip. One last for the love, but that's it. He's gonna call it. That's unfortunate. He was definitely going for more. Started with the big transfer. We're expecting to see so much more from Jom, and he's definitely disappointed. I know he had a lot in mind, a lot in store for us. Maybe a bit too much pressure on his shoulder, I don't know. Definitely landed some tricks all throughout, but definitely didn't manage to get the whole line. Flew a bit too far here on the hip, landed sideways on the corner and fell down. That's gonna hinder his score big time. Good enough for 5th place so far, only followed by young Felix Fehling. All right, that's it for Thailand. Unfortunately, we'll move on to France. Nicolas Servi coming all the way from Dijon, currently ranked 7th in the FISE World Series with 12.6K points. That's a lot of points. And here he goes, charging, flying all the way to the vert wall and goes right back at it with the Misty 720. Big front flip on the box and charging once more. A lot of power, it's crazy. He only used 4 wheels and still goes as fast as the guy on the bigger setups. Big Misty, oh no, catches the wall here. That's too bad. And that's not good for his score either. That's gonna cost him a lot of points, I am afraid. 5 more seconds to go. And that's it, a little back royale, slow on the sub box. That's it for Nicolas Servi.
Nicolas Servi putting in a good performance right there. It's gonna be moving to Yuma Baudouin from Gap, France.
Gap, yeah, nice word, nice name for a skater. Big gaps, big tricks from Yuma.
Hey, so what's happening in the inline scene as we take a couple highlights look there, Mr. Servi, but what's some big news?
I don't know, a couple big news, some theories, some conspiracies, and the Cayenne crew is going back on tour next week.
Cayenne crew on tour, what does that even mean?
The Cayenne crew, that's let's say a collective of 12, 13 guys, filmers, photographers, writers, and we just hit the road every couple, 1 year, 2 years, and make a video out of it. Sometimes we make a book, we make some pictures, write some words about it, and share it with the world. Try to explore destinations all over the world. We went to Asia, went in a few places in Europe, and this time we hitting Latin America. We're going to Mexico.
Really?
First time, yeah.
Wow, where are you gonna go?
CDMX most likely, and we'll take maybe a couple trips around the country. I've heard a few things.
Incredible. Yeah, Mexico is a phenomenal place. Excited to see what you guys make of it on the skates.
I'm so excited about the food, man.
Yeah, it's that's an amazing one. Wow, I'm jealous of you. But Yuma Baudouin, all about this man from Gap, France, dropping in right now.
And going in with the big 9, so easy. Going in reverse here in the fly box and right back at it with the flying 540. Half cup royale, 270 back in. Again, so many tricks. I feel like I'm just giving trick names, but these guys have mastered the art of putting together really solid lines. So they've been able to use every obstacle and put a little trick here, a big trick there, and then another banger, because they know how it is. You need to impress the judges, you need to impress the crowd, and still use every inch of the course to score the highest points possible. Big five, landing a bit low. He's got 5 more seconds to go. Fakey 5 here. It's gonna be it for Yuma. Nice one. Very nice one. The young rider from Gap is currently ranked 5th in the FISE World Series. And you know what this young man is gonna do right after this? He's going to Canada, visit your homeland, and actually stay there because he's working for his
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to be the running consensus for a lot of the inliners moving over to Cirque du Soleil. They're offering a pretty interesting opportunity for you guys.
Like really interesting to explore a different. I think Joe was also spent some time there and got to create a show with them. And I think what's really interesting is to see the behind the scenes, like how does it work in other industries, in other performance arts, and probably learn from it. Take some stuff that you can bring back to the inline world as well. And interestingly enough, Yuma actually went out there for tryouts a while ago, and they actually told him to go back to France, get surgery on his shoulder, get himself all fixed out. They actually really took care of him instead of just using him for the time being and waiting until like things would get worse. They allowed him to take the time to recover and kept a spot for him in the show. So now he's going right back at it and working out there in Cirque du Soleil.
So right now we're waiting to see if Yuma Baudouin can beat that 82.25.
The judges definitely putting in some work in there. Really tricky job, a really hard task today. The level is really high, and then it will come down to the smallest details to really determine who is the best skater in the world today. Meanwhile, Felix is getting those legs warmed up, and the score comes in.
Yuma Baudouin gets a 68.25. It's good enough for 4th place right now. So then we move up to 2nd place, Nicolas Servi, who has a 73 right now. He's going to try his luck and see if he can push out Yun from the 1st place. Oh. No, this is Felix, pardon me.
Yeah, Felix dropping in. And Felix messed up a little bit on his first run, so we are expecting to see him clean up. Huge disaster. Unity followed. Whoa, going in fakie so fast and carving that spine like it's nothing. Big 360, so much style and amplitude. Alley-point, no, he sticks it, stays on his feet. Fortunately, Macchio here on the A-frame manages to keep his line going despite the little catch-up here, and goes flying 450 into the hip right here. Wow, so much power, and only 17 years old. Incredible. 720 from the young man from Roskilde, Denmark. Roskilde, I still love you, Roskilde. I miss you. Whoa, and he stays on his feet all the way till the end. Got a bit short on the landing and pushed all the way through and landed right back in the spine. Stays on his feet all the way. Felix is all right, he's just tired. That was 50 seconds of really intense, really beautiful skating.
You guys see on the glow of the camera right now, the aperture is setting up. We have the sun setting almost, just blooming in the background.
Beautiful sights here and beautiful skating. That's where it could have all gone wrong, but he managed to save it and stay on his feet and keep on going. Big 720 here, catches the landing absolutely right on top of the transition, absolutely perfect. I was gonna say, nice smile on Felix's face, and he does it for the world peace. He does it to inspire the youth. Young Felix from Roskilde, definitely showing the love for the scene and trying to bring this new generation along with him. Showing that there's hope, showing that there's space for everyone to grow, representing out there. And eagerly awaiting his new score. Definitely an improvement compared to his first one. As we said, the best of those two runs counts for the final rankings. So it all comes down to the best of the two. And this one was definitely the better one. 71 points for Felix, currently sitting in 4th place. But another heavy contender and currently hot seat leader, if I'm not mistaken. Jong-yoon coming all the way from South Korea and dropping in for 50 in 10 seconds. Big 720 and lots of speed. Going right back at it with another huge spin. 1260. Oh my God, 1260 right off the gates. That didn't work out, and would you believe it, he almost overspun it. It's 3.5 rotation in the air, and still he managed to spin further. And still going, still doing it for the love, for the crowd, and for you, dear viewers. Got a few seconds left for Jong-yoon. Big fakey 10. Fakey 1080. Oh my God, does he spin well, this young man? So we saw 720, we saw 900, 1080 attempt and a 1260 attempt. That's so many spins already in just one run. Incredible. That's more than I will do in my entire life, most probably.
Let's take a look back at some of the highlights here.
The 720, man, like starting off so strong.
I think that's a 1260 attempt.
1260 indeed, and overspun it a little bit and fell down. He's got the 5 in there. He's got the flat 5 as well.
Then coming here for the fakey 1080.
Oh my God, does he spin?
Almost landed that.
He's got it.
So
he's
close.
Got it. I think he posted one of these on the gram not long ago that broke the internet. He had our man TJ Wellsmore on his toes, actually. A little scare right there.
So Yoon staying up there.
Definitely sticking with his first score. But with this kind of score, when you go above 80, then you know you're in for the win. High chances to stay in first position. It will be up to the second heat, and it will be up to this guy, Mr. Jelle Briggeman. Really impressive first run, and here we go for the second one.
Jelle Briggeman coming out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands.
Lekker man, the man is flying, he's charging this course, and he's got the song playing.
Huge height over top of AJ Steins as we have the sandstorm erupting in the Chinese desert. Briggeman getting high up with that hand plant on the coping. Flying into Hurricane Park's quarter pipe, really showcasing that he has that speed to get tons of amplitude on this course.
Tons of speed. Oh yeah, and the other point this time he does it well. No hands down, and another 5, and he goes back towards the third wall. 10 more seconds to go. Topsail here. Oh my God, that was so good to watch. Unity here goes back fakey, and we got the last one. Oh my God!
Just missing it.
Oh my God, he flew over it, and the crowd is loving it. Harsh finish for a really solid run. Nonetheless, the sandstorm in beautiful Chengdu, China. Great one to watch. That was the man Jelle Briggeman representing Power Slide out here in China. He's actually working with them not only as a rider but also as a designer and engineer. He's got a background in those disciplines, so he's been helping with product development, and he's been helping with bringing lots of flair and amplitude to this park. Look at this. Does the man fly? Big flat 5 is going one big trick after the other, not slowing down, just charging everything inside. Alley-oop point here, does it well, and boom, goes right back at it with another flat 5. Incredible performance from the man from Rotterdam, and he missed the Philips 66 on the big volcano box. Takes it with a laugh. Definitely put everything he had on the line and does it all for the love once again. And does it for the score as well. Waiting for his final ranking. Does he improve on his first run? Let's take a look. This guy is still waiting. We are still waiting. You are still waiting, but the scores are coming in. Better believe it's a hard job for the judges to keep everyone in line and to decide to make the right decision, actually, because it's all about those tiny details. It's all about those precise results. 71.5 for a second run.
There you guys go. That's an incredible first heat. As you see, second heat on course right now. Let's take a look back at some of the top skating action that's happened out here on the FISE. Well, you guys see there more action on our YouTube channel, so go over there and check it out if you want to see some of that incredible content. Right now, though, we're packing up with heat number 2, the top 6 riders here in the finals. Who's it going to be? Roman Abrat, Yaro Frein, Maxine Janot, Joe Atkinson, followed by CJ Wellsmore and Diaco Diaby. The top 6 athletes coming out here to perform to you guys in the sun setting here on day number 1 of broadcast for the FISE finale here in Chengdu. Welcome to Chengdu, China for the FISE World Series 2019. That's right, it's the finale here in the Qinshe City Park region. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Ryan Meyer, hosting with Freddie White, and we are presenting to you the World Skate Roller Freestyle Park World Cup Final. Right now we have heat number 2 getting underway, and Roman Abrat is going to start it up. Let's take a look back and see the highlights from Roman's history here in 2019.
540 transfer, that's a big trick to start things off. Really consistent skater, really stylish as well. Everything is clean. Oh! Going for the camera flip right off the gate. Flat 5, still Disaster Soul definitely stepping it up big time. Oh, going for the Disaster Soul, definitely stepping it up.
Roman Abrat, as you see there, in second place for the overall points, standing right behind Joe Atkinson. How do you feel about the riding that we're going to be able to see from the top 6, but as well for Roman?
It's going to be amazing, because we got the first, the second, the third, the fourth. We got all the best riders here. The best ranked riders in the FISE World Series and the best riders, period. It's only going to get better from now. And we are witnessing Roman's first run. Missed a little bit up there on the wall, but goes right back at 1260, and he does it. Perfect. Incredible. He's cleaned up his tricks. Oh, no.
Oh. Going down on that one, not quite getting the distance over that gap.
It was good. He just, I think he let go of the legs a bit too early, and that didn't work out.
It just goes to show how precise you have to be out here. Something unexpected to see coming out of Roman Abrat, who is able to usually polish off a very solid first run with a ton of spins and just able to push it right to the limits.
That must feel so bad, like when you start off with such a perfect trick, like 1260, land it so good, it must feel amazing. So falling on the very next trick must bring you down a lot, but Roman definitely has the ability to come right back on top. He knows he's got to gather his spirits, stay focused, and put it all in line in the second run.
Well, Roman's score comes in. It's definitely not going to be the one that he's interested to put on the board. Another young gun hailing from the Netherlands. Could say another flying Dutchman out here all the way from the dam. Jaro Frein.
The man from Amsterdam dropping it, representing USC, This is Soul and Blade Club, and flying into the big wall from the pocket. Boom, nice 900, stays fakey, blindside top soul, and hits the head frame. Nice, the Macchio, and still goes over with the top souls. Little Hamplin here, and flies with the flat. Flat 5 here in the hip, another 450. Still charging, still tons of speed, soul to top soul. Whoa, already so many tricks.
Soul to top soul right there on that rainbow rail with very little space for switching it up there.
Yeah, you gotta be quick for sure and hit the nice curved rainbow at the right spot if you want to keep it going. And that's it all the way till the end of the buzzer. We'll take a look in a second at some of those highlights here. Definitely really strong first run also from Jaro. The guy is currently tied for third in the FISE World Series, 3.9 thousand points. He got fourth place in Hiroshima earlier this year and is definitely one of the heavy contenders on the series. Look at this, when you see how high he flies and how well he can execute those tricks, there's no wonder the kid is up there with some of the most experienced pros. The soul to top soul, you mentioned the hand touched the wall a little bit. Maybe one of the tiny details the judges might be looking out for. Always tricky. You have to go big, you have to go clean as well. That's the rule. So you can't just go for the hardest trick and just kind of sticks it. You have to make them look clean and nice for the crowd and the judges. And of course for our delightful audience. Jaro is waiting for his score. So are we. You can see Manon and Remy and Jeremy waiting in the booth as well. Jeremy, definitely one of the big upset yesterday in the qualifier. The man who won Montpellier this year, his first win at FISE in sunny Montpellier. Unfortunately, didn't qualify. Landed in 14th position after a couple of falls, and that was not good enough. We only have the 12 best riders from yesterday's qualification here today with us. Up next, we will have Maxime Genoux, the man from Switzerland. But as you can see, the judges are still deliberating, deciding who did best and what did what. Who did who?
Who did what and how they came out on top. But right now on top, you have Yoonjae Young-hoon with an 82.25. That's a score to beat. That's what Jaro Frein is pushing for out there on the board. We see his score to come in and to beat. Where is it going to line up? Scores in. It's an 82 even. Good enough for second place, the young man from Amsterdam.
Putting some pressure on his opponents from the very start. First run and another chance to improve on that score afterwards. But 82 points, that's a very comfortable position to be sitting in so far. We got 4 more riders in the second heat, and we are going to get going with Mr. Maxime Genoux from Switzerland, representing Rollerblade, Soul of Frames, and La Fièvre. J'espère qu'il va nous mettre La Fièvre. Sorry for my French, excuse my French. The man from Switzerland is charging with the alley-oop, porn star up there on the wall, and still going so fast. Here he goes, right back at the flybox. Big 900, oh no, and he catches transition at the wrong spot right there on the landing. Doesn't make it. That will be hit for his first run. Showed a lot of promise, but unfortunately that fall is gonna cost him a lot of points. As we mentioned earlier, only the best run counts, so he's gonna get another chance to improve in cleaning up. But that's definitely not such a nice feeling for Maxime. Obviously, it started off well with his wall ride to top acid, going right back into transition, and then flying high here with the alley-oop top horn. That was all very well linked together, but here you can see the big 9, and he catches with the left foot the very top of the transition, and that brought him down big time. I hope he's fine, looks fine. Just a bit of disappointment as his first score comes in. 51 points for Joe, for Maxime, sorry.
Last man who's able to change the podium.
Got a crazy run lined up.
Joe Atkinson
Killing it. He's starting off strong, same line. He's trying to just perfect this line all the way till the end.
And that's it. We get to this is where it went wrong in the first qualification and in the first run for Joe Atkinson.
All right, one of the best riders in the whole world. We're in for a treat, doing it for local skates, Joe Atkinson.
Well, we got a course that allows riders to be really creative, and if there's one creative guy out there, that's definitely Mr. Joe Atkinson, charging right off the gate, full speed, carving this wall, beautiful, and huge 9, flying as high as the drone, full cab, backside rail up there, and whoa, flying into the wall once again, front flip, so many tricks, so many signatures. Wow, using the fence. You haven't seen anyone touch that one yet. I don't think anyone would touch it. Anyway, Joe definitely has his own flair, his own style. Alley-oop top on here. Big 5. He's still on his feet and he's got 10 more seconds to go. What else are we gonna see from the young man? The quick backslide to Unity. Quick tap. Beautiful setup of skates here. Beautiful tricks and the switch spin here, I believe. Ooh. I am not sure, but he didn't break his chin, so I guess everything is fine. That would have been a nice buzzer beater right here. Solid performance from the man from Yorkshire, representing Solar Frames, Loco Skates and Go Project. Rumor has it he might very well be, or might not be at all, the next rider of a certain skate company. Of course I am. I've already been doing that, or at least I've been suspected of doing so. So that was it for Joe Atkinson. Nice first run, and he gets an absolute blazing score, 85.25 points for Atkinson. First place, our current hot seat leader, and there's one man that can take him down, his teammate from Go Project, the man from Seba and Arsena, CJ Wellsmore, currently 6th in the rankings for the FISE World Series. He's within striking distance. The man from Sydney, Australia, currently living in Bangkok, Thailand, Mr. CJ Wellsmore. Soul grind, perfect here on the vert wall. Oh my God, he goes with the huge 360. So much power. The backside, the true spin, mystial, sorry, French word for that one. And he's flying over the course, charging over, taking a really different wall line from everything else we've seen so far. 540 transfer, still charging, so much power from the Aussie. Wow, the flat spin 5, double grab. Really nice style all throughout, something CJ's really got us used to, and he does it. The quick backslide to topsoul. Here goes here on the other sub box, the front farf, and he's still on his feet, goes on the wall, and he's got one more right on the buzzer, the 720. He does it! He does it! Such an incredible run, I could not stop. This was unbelievable.
Wow, you guys, CJ Wellsmore really coming out of the woodworks on this one, delivering a performance
Oh my goodness, he really outdid himself. I think that was everything he was aiming for. I don't think he even believed it would be possible to put all those tricks together in such a line. 50 seconds and so many beautiful tricks. We'll take a look in a second at the replay. But for now, let's just savor the moment, enjoy the moment. This was such an incredible run. I'm absolutely delighted to be able to witness this firsthand. Starting with the soul grind here, huge risk right from the start, and going in with this huge sideways 3 transfer. True spin mystery here on the sub box. He's hit that one both ways during his run. He's really touched everything. Big tricks, big spins, big grinds. Incredible, and a really unique line as well. All the way till the end, the 720 right on the buzzer. If you're anti-NBA or if you're just like me, a Celtic supporter, you'll appreciate the buzzer beater on the Hori scale. Incredible performance by CJ Wellsmore. Let's hope the run matches his skating.
Right now, he's waiting to see if he can get up into the 80s and specifically bump out Yoon with that 82.25. CJ really wanting to get on top of the podium.
He was on top of the podium last weekend at the IOXC contest in Indonesia. He was also 3rd in Hiroshima and 2nd at the Battle of the Champions.
Whoa! 86.75. CJ Wellsmore bumps out Joe Atkinson into 2nd place and has become the new hot seat leader right now in heat number 2. That's a big one for CJ Wellsmore today.
First place so far for Mr. CJ Wellsmore. As I said, he's within striking distance in the FISE World Ranking. So that's going to be interesting to see. Another one rider that's going to be interesting to see. The man himself, Diaco Diaby, all the way from Paris. The winner from last year's FISE World Series event here in Chengdu. It goes, whoa, huge 540 right off the gate. Flat 3, alley-oop, 540 soul. What is going on?
Diaco Diaby had such an incredible on the skate, just so casual. Wow, and he can spin as well.
My goodness. I guess I'm starting to believe in God or something. As an atheist, I've been saying these words, OMG, the whole time. I've been really riveted to my seat unless I'm actually standing. I don't know what's going on anymore. This guy is killing it. He had an amazing run yesterday and he's just upped himself right off the gates with the big 540 transfer. So much amplitude, so much speed, and the flat 5 right here.
Wow, so laid back, such a clean poise throughout his entire run.
And is loving it. The crowd is loving it. You are loving it. Incredible.
We have just seen 3 solid runs back to back, stepping it up time and time again. Let's see, is Diaco Diaby able to push out now another rider, CJ Wellsmore, who has a very high score, that 86.75, who's sitting right now in the hot seat. Joe Atkinson, though, nipping at his heels there with an 85.25, and Yoon Jae sitting with an 82.25 in 3rd place. So heavy scores coming in, but that was a very heavy run coming out of the man from Paris. Starting things off clean and big right there with that 540.
Look at this, spinning all over the place into grinds, into transfer.
Here.
1260, perfect. No hesitation whatsoever. The man is clean all the way till the end. Takes off right on the buzzer for this flat 540 transfer. He was loving it, screaming his lungs out at the end of his run. Outstanding performance once more. I told you it was only get better, and wow, was I right? The last 3 riders have put it all on the line and deservedly got those 3 first spots yesterday in the qualification, but they really outperformed themselves even today. They know it's the final event of the season. While the Bleeding Cup is taking place in California right now, we have the 2 main events that actually kind of close the season for inline skating contests. One that is more street-oriented in the streets of California, and here on the big course, the massive transition course built by Hurricane Parks, the highest flying, highest rollers here in the game. CJ Wellsmore, you can see him on your screen. and Diaco Diaby currently waiting for his scores.
CJ Wellsmore has that 86.75. It's a nail biter coming down. You see the rivals, Australia versus France. Who's gonna take it home? CJ wants to bring home the honey for his honey. Diaco Diaby wants to bring home that cash to Paris. Where is it gonna line up? Two incredible runs from two separate nations. Diaco Diaby, let's see the score coming in, and a third place for Diaby, I believe, as he moves in 84.37 into third place. Wow.
Not good enough for first place, but good enough for the podium, and seeing how high the level is rising in the last few runs is definitely not a bad place to be sitting in. But now he's got to think of a way to get even better if he wants to take down the leaders.
Well, a man who wants to take down the leaders and has been on top as a leader himself, Romain Barraud right now on course, trying to deliver his redemption run here, the final attempt.
Fell on the first one, stuck this 1260, and he does it again, absolutely perfect. That's where it all went wrong on the first one, but here he does it perfect. Yes, the flat 3, 547 here on the coping, spinning all over the place. The man who won the World Urban Games, the inaugural event this year in Budapest, took 7,000 euros home. Romain Barraud representing USD in Grindhouse, spinning a 9 here, still going. Backside, oh no, 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 stays on his feet, incredible. Backside Royale almost went wrong and ends with a little sideway flip here on transition. He must be so relieved after messing up this first run. Stayed on his feet all the way through God and landed an incredible amount of tricks. He had another type of line, maybe more straightforward, more oriented on this big fun box. Didn't cruise around as much, and yet he landed huge spins all over. We had a perfect 1260 on the fly box, so we've seen a couple of those today. That's usually a winner's trick, but seeing the level today, it's not gonna be enough to make it to first place. So it's about mixing everything. Little grinds, as you could see here on the A-frame, that almost took it down, but also big transfers and creative lines. Was it enough for Romain Barraud? He doesn't know, we don't know, only the judges know, and we are waiting for them to deliver their final score. The man from Gap is currently ranked second in the FISE World Series. He is the one who's able to take down Joe Atkinson and win that golden ticket for next year's World Series. Is this second run gonna be enough?
It's going to be a hard one to do in his current position as he's sitting at the very bottom of the ranking right now for this event in 12th place. He really has to step it up. Only has 33.75 as his score. You see right now in the top right-hand corner of your screen, it's CJ Wellsmore as he holds things together in that hot seat. 86.75, that's an incredible score to beat.
That's incredible. Must be all that crispy grilled and fried chicken we ate in Indonesia. I got all the power right there, all the spices to keep things interesting in the hot city of Chengdu.
And it's not going to do it. Romain Barraud moves into 6th place with an 81.37. Definitely nowhere near CJ Wellsmore, 86.75. But a man 5th place, just above Romain Barraud. Jado Frein from Amsterdam about to drop in. He has an 82 even. Can he bump up 7 points to rival the top spot of the Australian? Let's take a look.
Is tied for 3rd in the FISE World Series rankings. So needless to say, he's ready to give his all for a chance to take that first spot and win not only this event, but the overall series 1260 as well. I told you we were gonna see a few of those today. It's usually a winner's trick, but all these guys are able to let it consistently. Oh my days, oh my days.
I'm throwing up the hands for this one.
He messed up a little bit here on the dark side topsoul, and he knows from the start his first run was so good, so solid. A little miss here in the second won't allow him to improve his score. That's too bad for young Yaro. You can feel maybe a sense of disappointment. At the same time, he's been able to represent out here in Chengdu, China for the crowd. And I think it's beautiful to see this younger generation. Yaro is one of the youngest riders here on the course, only 18 years old, and he's able to show that you can take down the big guys, you can go after them and compete versus them. This won't be good enough for the first place, but 5th place in such an incredible setting with such a high level of skating, that's definitely a huge accomplishment at only 18 years of age. All these guys that you see in the top spots right now, they've been competing for many, many years. They have all the experience under the belt. So it's a huge thing for Yaro to even get there in 5th place. Another man who has everything to prove right now after messing up his first run. Maxime Genoux coming all the way from Vevey, Switzerland. Vevey, if you don't know, that's really close to Lausanne. That's where this guy has grown up skating the infamous HS36. He's representing La Fièvre, the association who brought us the incredible event of the IRCL, the International Roller Contest Lausanne, and the 900 goes. Yes, huge relief here. The backside far to backside Savannah on the A-frame. Maxime Genoux, one of the most powerful riders, qualified in fourth place. Sorry, fourth, like 4. The number 4, he messed up a little bit. He had a few things in mind, I'm afraid didn't go his way in this one. And judging by his body language, I think Maxime might feel a little disappointed as well. I know he had a few things he really wanted to do. There was a beautiful 455 lined up over there on the quarter pipe and a few more things like this. Really strong performance, as you will see in those nice replays in a second. But not the run he was expecting, I believe. Started really well though with the alley-oop point right there. You can see him flying in the sun.
And what a beautiful landscape we have pushing here in the Kingshui City Park region, just located outside of central Chengdu, China.
Ain't it beautiful, the sun setting,
yeah,
the light on the windows.
Light on the windows of the skyscrapers out here.
Bringing the high-level skating to the high rises of Chengdu. Mr. Maxime Genoux all the way from Switzerland. Now the question is, what's the score? Judges, let us know. Definitely a bit of tension. It's always like this when there's so much on the line. Maxime had a couple hiccups in his competition, but he ended in 2nd place at the World Urban Games in Budapest earlier this summer. Definitely came back strong. 72 points for Maxime. Not good enough to take down the big guys. He knew it, I think, after this first and his second run. And it's hard to take down this man, Mr. Joe Atkinson. Last year's FISE World Series winner. Dropping in for his 2nd and final run and charging all the way up. Whoa! Floating on that 9. Keeps it going.
Holding on from that corkscrew. Love how his legs cross up there.
Abstract 900. Beautiful. And he goes in for the signature front flip now. He uses that fence like no one else. Big 3 on the volcano box. Still cruising.
20 seconds
he lost
left
too much
on this.
speed. I don't think he's gonna use those last seconds unless he has maybe one more tricks he wants to show the crowd. How is it gonna be?
Wow.
One more trick, one more trick. I know Joe, I know he has one more he wants to show because he's like this, he loves it and he wants you to enjoy it as much as he does. So let's see it. Joe. Whoa, no. Oh my God.
Wow, going for the double flip right there. Atkinson going down though.
Oh, he said he would only do those as victory laps, but here he had nothing left to lose, so he just went crazy. Double backflip. And he spun really nicely, just didn't fly far enough, just a few centimeters, but that's enough to put you down in such a dangerous trick. I'm glad he's okay, actually. That could have gone like terribly wrong.
Yeah, well, look at that abstract 9 right there. Some highlights from Joe Atkinson. Just a little bit of a bobble on the landing.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's a big one. Having Joe just take off. There's that, really just coming
straight
up
to
hard
the knees.
onto the knees. Glad he's wearing some knee pads there. I can see under the pants.
Yeah.
It's not usual for Joe, actually.
Yeah, but I think for such an event where there's so much on the line, it was in his mindset from the very start that he would go big and he would go crazy. So you might as well want to have a little protection gear right there if you're gonna put your life on the line.
Okay, well, up next, Australia's very own.
He's presenting Arsena, Mr. CJ Wellsmore. He's been on the tear, you were gonna say, and I approve. This guy has had a really, really strong year. So good to see him go crazy. His first run put him in first place, and here it goes. Whoa!
Whoa, CJ, way up there, going for it, and one of the biggest transfers we've seen on that park course. Only seen 2 BMX athletes hit that one as well. CJ is on fire and shredding.
I think we only saw Yellow Brigiman doing it in the trainings, but it took several tries and there's nothing coming after it. For CJ, that's the start of his whole run, so it means if he messes up his entire run. He's trying to outdo himself, and I believe he's doing it. So far, everything is flawless, everything is perfect. The backslide to topsoul still goes in really nice. Boom, the far. He does it, lands
CJ.
right back in there.
CJ
So
putting
nice.
2 down in the books. Coming off.
Perfect runs, one right after the other.
Okay, how are we going to link this one up? Because there was only one person left. CJ knew that Diaco Diaby has the opportunity to up whatever he has done. He's going to be the last athlete on course. But knowing that CJ just put it all on the line and tried to deliver an even top performance above his first run, which has awarded him the hot seat with that 86.75. Incredible performance from CJ Wellsmore there today.
Honestly, after that first one, I think he was just gonna chill, but he proved from the very first trick he was not chilling in the slightest.
You guys you really get an understanding for how tall that vert wall is. Over 1.5 meters of vert. That's nothing you will ever see in a skate park near you.
The whole thing is 5.5 meters. That's bigger than a house. Just to make it clear, this is huge. CJ has brought so much speed and amplitude to this skate park. Absolutely amazing, all the way till the end, and you can see how juicy he is himself. I can't believe he went right back at it for a second run. That's possibly even better than the first. Now the really tough question is for the judges to answer, fortunately not ours, but I'm so happy we got to see this and share it with you. The World Skate has put together this FISE World Series.
88.25. CJ Wellsmore improves his score tenfold, pushing up that lead over Diaco Diaby, who's sitting in 3rd place. Right now we have Joe Atkinson right in the middle there, but the only man who can fire back is that of Diaco Diaby from Paris, France. You see the stress on his face, a man who is so chill and composed on the skates. Can he put it together in this final run here today?
Yeah, his Sebat teammate definitely put a lot of pressure on him, but so much pressure also on the landing here of this huge 540, so much compression on the landing, carving it like a ball. Diaco is still flying over the park, 540 ellipsoid. I don't think he's missed that one trick a single time in the whole training sessions here. Huge 3 here from the Volcano to the flybox. Really nice line as well. He's gone really different from the first one. Solgren here gets the speed back again. Whoa, no.
Oh, Diaby not having a perfect run, might I say. This could be the falling point for him to improve over Joe Atkinson and possibly take out CJ on the top. He knows it, I think. You see a bit of deflation in his body language. But
Oh my, that was another great performance. But as you say, he missed on his soul grind. He managed to save it. It could have gone terribly wrong as well. Stayed on his feet, but managed to go all the way till the end, lacing up a whole bunch of tricks all over the course. So that's the big question as well for the judges, probably not ours, but will he improve on his first run? And most importantly, will he be another time the winner of this FISE World Series event in Chengdu? This is where it could have gone wrong. Fortunately, stuck the landing, but the judges know this is not the trick he was going for, and he rolled it instead. Currently 9th in the FISE World Series ranking. Diaco has a score of 8.2 thousand points. So that will definitely see him score a few more, but damn, will it be enough to put him in the podium with the second run?
coming from the runs that CJ Wellsmore just delivered, I mean, that first run, possibly, it was 86.75 that Diaby would have to take out, but then CJ answered back with that second top performance. Don't know if Diaby is going to do it, and it's not. It's good enough at third place in 84.37, but that means unofficially or officially, CJ Wellsmore from Australia is going to be the champion out here in Chengdu. That's going to be incredible to see how it lines up on our FISE overall rankings, but there you go. That's the scoreboard. CJ Wellsmore first place, Joe Atkinson second, Diaco Diaby from France in third place.
We had then John Jae Young-won from Korea, Yarofrein, Romo Abrat, Nicolas Servi, Yuma Borouin, Maxime Genoux, Yellow Briggeman, Felix Felling, Yerasak Tasson. Lots of names, lots of points, lots of tricks, but a really, really consistent top 5 and top 10, might I say. They were really, really good today, and they outdid themselves, all of them.
What an exciting final to take you guys through out here today. It's been so fun hosting the FISE World Series of the World Skate Roller Freestyle Park Championship that has come to a close out here in the beautiful Chinese sun and this incredible course sculpted by Hurricane Parks. It was a testament to all the freestyle action sports athletes, but it came down to CJ Wellsmore, who is a top skater out there on this beautiful course. Joe Atkinson honorably in second place there, and Diaco Diaby in third place. Let's take a look at the overall ranking. As you see, Joe Atkinson stays on top and is going to be your overall World Series champion for 2019. But respectively, CJ Wellsmore bumped himself up into second place and pushed down Roman Abrat to third place. Those are going to be your highlights. Pushing forth, you guys can see all the way down to 12th place. Some of the top athletes competing on the World Skate Roller Freestyle World Cup Championship out there that we are presenting to you guys here for the finale in Chengdu. It's been an incredible series for 2019. Freddie, how has it added up in your eyes?
It's just like gone from good to better to even better. This was an absolutely amazing final. I don't know, it just keeps on getting better. It sounds stupid to say, but these guys have been able to take these courses and get used to them, learn how to use them to the for the very best. And now you could see it in today. Like so many different runs, so many different lines, and everything absolutely perfect. I don't know, like it's hard to put into words. These guys are really doing it great.
We've really been talking about that. I mean, it's one thing because we come out as a global action sports series showcasing so many different facets of action sports. So you have to kind of share some of the parks, obviously, with the riders. So trying to build the most progressive courses for BMX and for inline, who are both going to share with obviously different wheel diameters, it becomes a real challenge because sometimes you feel like, okay, to showcase the big BMX stuff, you have to have a longer transition than what you would ideally want for roller. We had touched on that before, how years in the past, it had really seemed like you had a differentiation between the ability of the top inline riders if they're able to progress and show their top riding on the course. But today you can really see that they are both pushing the skill level so high that they're comfortable. They're able to dissect the course in their own way, tackle it, and just show their creativity in the riding style. So happy to see as well CJ Wellsmore putting that stomp down performance on top, having a little friend rivalry, pushing out Joe Atkinson from that very comfortable first pace position. Yeah, just so happy to see all the riders out there delivering safe runs, but also pushing the sport of inline to the max. You guys see the sun setting in the background right there, but we have the podium starting in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Diaco Diaby, your third place finalist, jumping up onto the box right now. AJ Stein, he's doing a bit of our on-site emceeing. You guys see him in the right-hand side, but I think we're going to be saying a little goodbye, showcasing the podium right now for you guys. Joe Atkinson right there from Yorkshire, England, pushing himself into second place, and as well going to be taking the overall for the FISE World Series standing. He takes the overall title with this second place victory, and a man who bumped himself up to second place in the overall, but has taken top honors for the contest here in Chengdu. That's none other than the happy man, CJ Wellsmore, who's on top of the podium, as you see right there, getting the gold and bringing home the big paycheck. Freddie, some last words for you?
It's been a pleasure, Ryan. It's been an amazing year. These guys have done it good. We've done even better. It's been a pleasure to be with you again. I hope we have a nice handshake this time.
Yeah,
shows the improvement, right?
It's been a good one. It was improvement. You guys didn't see it on camera, but I'm telling you, it was great. Freddie, good luck for you tomorrow in the amateur contest. You guys want to watch some of those highlights, check us out on YouTube, as well as our Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. I'm Ryan Meyer on behalf of the FISE. We'll see you next time.
Mexico. How do you say that?